This is the instant film project where I draw on Polaroids that I've taken and I extend the story with chalk pastel. This is a Polaroid that I took at Hyde Park. I saw this giant monument. It's about the size of two, maybe three people high, if I recall correctly. It's fenced off, and I guess having had like a sort of architecture background, I found it quite unfriendly. Uh, I mean, I understand it, I appreciate the form and so on, but and I just felt like at a public park, people should be able to interact with it. So you can see on my little sketch here, the idea is to have a bird stand on it for this drawing, um, which is somewhat ironic, right? Because everybody's fenced off and you know kicked to the side, but then the birds can just stand on it and of course take dumps on it as well. Which, you do see on some of the, I want to say copper statues, sculptures of public figures, the birds just take poops on it. But so here it is. I guess it helps that it's white. Um, you can see that I actually have that little sketch of a bird there to test out the color schemes. When I do these color scheme tests, I tend to not put blacks on if it's just for myself. If I'm doing commission, I'll put the blacks in it as well. When I do it for myself, I just don't really want to get black chalk on my hands and then, I have to go clean it and make sure that it doesn't get everywhere. So it's my little shortcut. You can see like when I actually do the sketches, I'm not too concerned with how anatomically correct it is. This is supposed to be a robin, and you can see that when I do the final drawing, it's actually much more to scale. You can see the shape of the robin a lot better. Um, what I'm really interested in when I first do these color studies is how well the colors come together, and you can see that for this composition, I sort of got it right the first try. I didn't feel like I need to do a lot of major changes because colors of a robin. I guess I've drawn robin a few times already, so I sort of know the color scheme. Whereas for other birds, I probably would do a few more color studies just to experiment more. So you can see, I would say like the greenish on the feather, that's not quite the green of your robin, your picture perfect sort of robin. But I do have a limited set of colors because I use non-toxic chalk pastels. Um, so sometimes there are minor color shifts that I have to put in. I'm watching this together with you while do the voiceover. This wasn't too challenging, probably because I've already drawn Robin quite a few times. Um, and you can see, as usual, I leave a bit of white so that the brightest area still come through, the white still come through. I've talked about this before. It's very difficult to have white on with chalk pastel because when you layer on the whites, it can blend because it's chalk with the layers underneath, and so you're not going to get that crisp white. I love the bottom, the blues on the bottom. I think gives it a nice base, and as you know, I'm a big fan of color blocks, so that was a sort of an extension of that, vacuuming the dust, and there you go. That's my piece. Um, as usual, it may still be available on my website. Hope you will check it out. I'll see you again soon.